It's very difficult to bring people together on the internet, especially on social media and most of all Twitter, where people are very divided based on ideological lines. It's like, oh, I'm a socialist. Oh, I'm not going to platform you because you're a conservative bigot. Very, very difficult to find common ground when people are being very divided. But there is one thing that does bring people together. There is that one thing which most people agree with, that child exploitation is wrong. And they don't like it when they find out that kids are being exploited, right? I mean, sure, there are exceptions, but the overwhelming amount of people do agree that it is a bad thing. And I remember Shuonhead, progressive, left-leaning, decent, moral, upstanding person, pillar of the community, made a couple of videos a couple of months ago talking about the maps. Now, if you're a normal person, you probably don't know what a map is. Well, apparently, it's a minor attracted person. Yes, it's now a political correct word to describe them. And believe it or not, came to my shock, but being a map is not against the terms of service on Twitter. Now, you might say, it's like, well, hold on a little bit, V. Why are you thought policing people? It's like, well, we're talking about a platform that bans people for misgendering, that bans journalistic outlets, that bans the U.S. president. Like, what free speech are we talking? There is no free speech, all right? Apparently, Twitter is a platform designed to keep people safe. They have a responsibility. So I really didn't believe when I was reading this news because it's so messed up that I had to read it at least twice in order to just understand the evilness of what has transpired here. So this is from the New York Post. And apparently Twitter refused to remove videos of a minor because it didn't violate the policies. What? Even if it doesn't violate the policy, you would think that new policies would be enacted just to take down this video, because this is absolutely horrible. Like, the story that I'm going to read to you is just beyond the pale. So listen to this, okay? The mother is filing the lawsuit because, according to her, Twitter made money by showing videos with her child being taken advantage of. So when the kid was around 13 to 14 years old, apparently someone posing as a female classmate of his demanded pictures of the kid. And the child provided. And then the perpetrator, the predator, blackmailed the kid, saying that if he isn't going to share more graphics, photos, and videos, then he's going to share the naked picture with the parents, the coach, the pastor, and others. So the kid complied, shared more videos. Eventually, the predator demanded that he films himself with another kid, so 2 underage, okay, and they sent that video as well. And all seemed to be going away when the kid finally decided to block the predator. And this, again, happened, I believe it was in 2013 at the time, if I'm not mistaken. Fast forward to 2019, the videos resurfaced on Twitter under 2 accounts that were known to share child sexual abuse material. That exists on Twitter. Like, let that sink in. That is on Twitter. So I hope that this lawsuit is wrong. Okay? Like, everyone can sue for whatever they want. I hope they're mistaken with this. Because if that actually exists, as they pointed out, accounts that actually share this type of stuff, like, that's illegal in my country. If I accidentally stumble on something like this, I would be committing a crime. I would have to immediately contact the cops and tell them, it's like, well, I clicked on it. Like, what the fuck do you want me to do? It's on Twitter. It's a public platform. Blah, blah, blah. Hopefully it never happens, but like, now I need to be careful, right? Because apparently there are these accounts that are sharing this shit. You should be careful as well. It can happen to you as well. Because apparently, according to Twitter, it's not against their terms of service. So, Jesus fucking Christ. That's not the worst of it, by the way. Because apparently the kids' classmates saw those videos. The kid became aware of those tweets in January 2020 because they'd been viewed widely by his classmates, which subjected him to teasing, harassment, vicious bullying, and led him to become suicidal. Like, misgendering is not okay, right? Because it causes harm. This, according to Twitter, doesn't violate their TOS. So the parents apparently contacted school and made police reports, filed a complaint with Twitter saying that there were 2 tweets depicting CP of himself and they needed to be removed because they were illegal, harmful, and were in violation of the site's policies. A support agent followed up and asked for a copy of those IDs so they could prove it was him, and after the teen complied, there is no response for a week. So let me get this straight. Look, you're made aware that on your platform you have this shit, and instead of removing it outright because you have an underage person there, you're like, can I see ID? I would like to see ID. On January the 28th, Twitter replied to Doe and said they wouldn't be taking down the material, which had already racked up over 167,000 views and 2,223 retweets. Did it get ratioed at least? I have to ask for my faith in the human race. Thanks for reaching out. We received the content and didn't find a violation of our policies, so no action will be taken at the time. If you believe there's a potential copyright infringement. Oh, I see. They should have DMCA'd that, huh? Is that what you need to do? It's my copy. I made it. Please start a new report. If the content is hosted on a third-party website, you'll need to contact the website in order to get that down. If you believe you are in danger, we encourage you to contact your local authorities. But I thought Twitter is supposed to protect us. I thought they're the ones that need to prevent online harm. So the kid is now bewildered. He's like, what do you mean you don't see a problem? With both our minors right now, we were 13 when the video was taken. We were baited, harassed, threatened to take these videos that are now being posted without our permissions. We did not authorize the videos at all, and they need to be taken down. He even includes his case number from a local law enforcement agency, but still the tech giant allegedly ignored him and refused to do anything about the sexual abuse material, which continued to rack up more views. And 2 days later, the mother contacted the agent from the Department of Homeland Security, which, by the way, you should do from the beginning. Like, fuck these companies, and do not believe that they have a right to maintain, to sanitize the internet. No, go to the police, okay? Go to the authorities. Always go to the cops. These corporations are not there to provide security. They're there to provide money for their stockholders. That's it, period. All right? So that's what got the video removed, because finally Homeland Security stepped in, got the video removed, and eventually Twitter didn't respond at first, and then finally said that they have a zero tolerance for any material that features or promotes CP. We aggressively fight online child abuse and have been heavily invested in technology and tools to enforce our policy. Yeah, so a very corporate, just standard response, robotic response. Here's my question though, okay? Who gets fired from Twitter Trust and Safety Council over this? If someone fails at their job that badly, and you're like, oh, well, our company always does the right thing. No, well, in this case, it didn't. Who gets fired? Why are these people so untouchable? Like, even when they fail so miserably at their job, they never apologize. You know, if one of them would have been caught with a racist tweet from 20 years ago, then all of a sudden they would apologize and get fired. But when you allow some shit like this to happen, like, I can't even imagine what it's like to go through that, like your classmates, to see videos, or my God, like that's just... I just thought I would share this with you guys because I think it's important to the daily conversation, right? Because recently it's like, oh, Twitter is there to keep you safe. Twitter is just a company that is really concerned about preventing online harm. And then you have examples where they didn't. Now, you know, all of this might be a lie, of course, in which case Twitter can sue for slander. But I don't see them doing that. I will be very interested in monitoring the status of this lawsuit, which might take a couple of years, but it's going to be very, very interesting to see what actually happened. If I really want to play devil's advocate and give like the benefit of the doubt to Twitter, I guess I could say maybe this was an automated response. Maybe they just have AIs and they're not interacting with real people. But I really doubt it, because Twitter is prouding themselves like, no, you're always interacting with someone on the other end of the line. Like, there's always a human being that decides which is getting banned and what isn't. My personal take is that someone on the council, on the Trust and Safety Council, is a map enthusiast, because why else do they keep allowing these people to exist on the platform while banning other people? Like, if you were to make a survey or a poll and ask the population which is a bigger problem, maps or misgendering, I'm pretty sure like the poll wouldn't even be fairly close to being equal. Like one answer will dominate the poll compared to another, right? So like, do you even care about what the community thinks when you're making the TOS or yeah? It's going to be interesting. But yeah, this is kind of sad. This is not the types of videos I want to make on this channel. I'll probably never make videos like this again. I'm not the internet cop. I don't want people to take a seat over there. It's just like, I couldn't believe it when I read it. And I thought it might be interesting to see what you guys think about it. So let me know in the comment section what you think about it. And I'll see you guys there. Take care.